Welcome to Annexed Dinner Table. I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Devin.
And today we're going to be reviewing Blossoms. Blossoms is a two-player push-your-luck game where you're trying to build a large flower stash.
A bouquet, if you will.
A bouquet, if you will. So overall concept, it was, I would say, a pretty standard push-your-luck kind of game, but I thought that the flower concept was a little bit unique. How about yourself?
There's other games that have the flower kind of concept when you're looking at things like photosynthesis and things like that, but I think the age of the game, seeing as it's, a pretty ancient game that's been reskinned, gives it a little bit of a edge there that, we can say was probably the first. But yeah, no, I think overall it's a fairly unique game.
Yeah. What did you think about the artwork? I know you definitely like art a little more than I do.
The art was great. It's very simplistic. The cards themselves are, simplistic. It's duplications of the same type of card. There's no variation, which might have been nice to see, but all in all, I think it got the job done. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about the artwork, which, kind of checked the box of good enough.
As I said before, it was a push-your-luck kind of game where you are turning over cards, and if you draw a card that doesn't match one of the four that's already been planted and there's no new place to plant, your turn ends. So I feel like it was pretty standard and not unique in the push-your-luck world.
I think the unique mechanics of this game were in the special ability tokens. They provide for, a lot of replayability in different strategies and how you approach different things, and also being able to play offense and defense with, things like the rake and being able to switch to a defensive. And
you definitely did that in our playthrough where that third game you were definitely using that pass a lot more to
set you up for bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in addition to that, most of the dynamics of the game could be played with a standard deck of cards, except for the fact that there are 6 different variations as opposed to 4 different variations.
And they're a lot more limited in how many there are. And there is this kind of interesting mechanic where you normally, in a standard deck, you have 13 of each. And this has the same, but you randomly discard one to the box, so you don't know which one is one short.
Yeah. So I think the 6 different suits, if you will, make it so that you can't just pick up a deck of cards and play it. But, yeah, other than that, there's not a lot that buying the game would get you, that sets it apart as a just standard card game versus buying a new game.
Well, the rake and the special abilities also.
Yeah, but variations on that and homebrew type variations could be done with a standard deck of cards too.
Definitely. I do think that this was a good one for all ages. The box says 8+, and that definitely covers it. I think that you could probably play this with younger, thinking 6, because it is very simple. It's just flipping cards over, especially with a little bit of help. But I don't think that if a 6-year-old would play, they would win. They would play and just to play.
Yeah, I think very simply the game is a matching game, and so you flip over a card. Is there a place for you to play it? Yes or no? Does it match the exact same picture? Cool, put it down. If not, discard. I think very young kids could do those mechanics, but yeah, it's the strategy of it all.
And those strategies do get really intense, especially because it only is 2 players. You're constantly trying to think about what would they be doing, and are they in a defensive mode? Are they in an offensive mode?
Yeah, it might be interesting to see 2 6-year-olds play this, though, because they're, some of the more complex of pushing your luck is, I get 2 or 3, I can get a point for cutting that, and how big the flowers get before you cut them versus how many smaller cuts you would get in a younger person game or someone with less strategic ability.
True.
Yeah.
I think that, as we mentioned earlier, it had a high replayability. We've played it ourselves probably, 6 times or so through the, 3 years that we've had it. So it doesn't come out much, but each time is different because you're getting a new draw card, and that shuffling, as it normally does, changes how they come up. And then strategy based on what we've done before definitely really kind of gets it. I know that Devin really likes the rake, so I can incorporate that in what I do next turn, next round, to help combat that.
Yeah, in our playthroughs, Cassandra was very good at utilizing the watering can, which is something that I never play, to end up with cutting a flower that was a 6 stack flower that gave 15 points. So that's something that wasn't even in my mind as a strategy. It should have been, because that's the entire case of the watering can, but I got fixated on the rake. So it's just kind of, as you develop your strategies, and vary your strategies to try to mess with your opponent's strategies.
Yeah, so I think it has, for how simplistic it is, very high replayability. Overall, I liked it. It was, as I said, not something that I'm pulling out all the time, but, family comes over or we go on family trips with my young cousins, I always bring this one with us because it's something that, we're sitting there before dinner, we can pull it out and, be done with a round in 10 minutes.
Yeah, this fits a weird niche. This is kind of one of those games that you can kind of throw at the kids and say, go play in your room. As far as road trips go, you can bring a deck of cards and it's much smaller and it fits in a pocket, versus this, and be able to play a ton more games than what this can do. The limit of 2 players also doesn't allow it to be kind of a social game. So it kind of falls into kind of a weird thing. The good thing about it is the quick play. Being able to play a game in less than 10 minutes does make it nice for having around the house. But again, it doesn't fit like a party game situation. A deck of cards can play way more games and is more transportable.
If you're interested to see our playthrough or our how to play, we'll put links down in the description. If you like this video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want notifications of our newest videos, hit the bell icon.